Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video about the One Piece card game. Today I'm continuing my coverage of OP03, Pillars of Strength, with another deck profile for, this time, Charlotte Linlin. This is for yellow. Before I get started, 80% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed, so I would appreciate it if you hit that button. It make me feel very good. And of course you're going to get regular content for the One Piece card game in your newsfeed. Like the video if you do enjoy this deck profile. And if you're interested in in-depth guides to various different decks I cover on the channel, you should check out my Patreon linked in the description. There I go through things like matchups, in-depth reasons for why you'd want to play the deck, and all of those sorts of things. You can find examples for OP02 on the channel, so if that sort of interests you, it's like $5 a month. I think it's worth it. So please do check that out. Enough shilling. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So, we're talking about Linlin, and if you've seen the Katakuri deck profile, there will be elements of this that are quite familiar, and then there'll be elements of this that are quite different. So, we'll start off with Shirahoshi, and Shirahoshi is really, really good in Linlin. Why is that? Well, I lied. We're not starting off with Shirahoshi. I should probably start off with Leader Effect. So, this is Don 2. When attacking, you may add one card from the life to the top, from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. If your life is at 2 or less, you may place up to one card from your hand at the top of your life area. So this is basically a perfect leader effect, because the time at which it comes online is the time at which you're really going to be dedicating Don to this, right? So this works from 3 life, and at 3 life, you are going to be sitting there, and you're going to be rearranging your life, and you're going to be stacking busted triggers to really mess up your opponent's game plan. Okay, so what kind of triggers are we talking about here? Well, the first one, Shirahoshi. So this is an on-play Graceful Charity, draw 3, discard 2. This is obviously very, very, very good in unbricking your hand and letting you filter for particular answers to your opponent's board state. It's just letting you get more counter if you just like want to not die. It's a really, really versatile card, and of course you are able to literally just stack it from your hand into the top of your life if you really want to resolve it. So that's why it's so good. We got 4 copies of Struisen. This is a 2k counter. You only play this because it's a 2k counter and it's searchable. 4 copies of Brule. This is amazing in yellow. It is a trigger to play. Cheap blocker. Yep, it's going to get Marcoed, but like who cares, because your opponent's probably playing Marco in the turn before this gets triggered, and you are able to just stack it and just make it come out when you want it to. You can literally put it from your hand into your life. It's a benefit that even Katakuri doesn't have. This is an amazing card. We got 4 copies of Pudding. This is the top 4 searcher for Big Mom Pirates and Sanji, so you obviously want to be playing this. Speaking of Sanji, 4 copies of Sanji. This card is amazing. So this is a 2k counter with Don 2. When attacking, you may add the top or bottom card of your life to your hand, and then add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to your life. So you essentially get to draw 1, but it's slightly better because you can potentially stack it. Now, obviously with Big Mom, it's a bit weird where like, oh, why would I stack something and then want to add it back? But potentially you might realize, oh, actually I need that for something else. I don't really want to use the trigger, or, you know, potentially something comes up. So it can be useful in just getting that back and maybe wanting to use it on that turn. 4 copies of Charlotte Pudding. This is a 2k counter Pudding. You're playing this just because it's a 2k counter. 4 copies of Perospero. This card is amazing. So this is vanilla tier stats. It doesn't have counter, but that's fine. It's got a trigger to play it by discarding a card, which is the best kind of trigger. Obviously, it'd be better if you played it for free, but that would probably be a bit too good. And then on KO, you get a refund on that little trigger cost by looking at the top 3 and adding a Big Mom Pirate. 4 copies of Charlotte Daifuku. I think this card is insane. This lets you add a card from the top or bottom of your life area to your hand, and then you heal 1 from the top of your deck. So just being able to like literally draw a card on attack is just so good. 4 copies of Katakuri. This card is very, very strong. It's a 4/6 with an on play to look at up to 1 card from the top of your or your opponent's life, and then you can stack it at either the top or the bottom. But then if you have less life, this card gains Rush, and a 4/6 with Rush is really, really quite good, especially when you're able to sort of stack your life and like see what's going to be coming up. It's just a very, very powerful card, and even if it doesn't gain Rush, it's still high value. 4 copies of Baron Tamago as another 4/6. We really do like these 4/6s for their stat value. Then we have got 2 copies of Katakuri. This card is so good. There's an 8/8 on play, take an 8 cost or lower on the field and put it into its owner's life. So typically you'll be using this to remove your opponent's really scary threats that you don't really want to be dealing with. But some nice little niche plays you can do is you can stack a Perospero or a Brule or a Shirahoshi if you are concerned it's going to get removed, and then you can bring it out obviously through the trigger effect, in essentially making it a heal, but like a very high value heal. Super, super powerful card. Of course, the best card in the deck, 4 copies of 10 cost Charlotte Linlin. This card is nuts. It's a 10/12 on play. Heal 1, your opponent trashes the top card of their life. If you resolve this twice, like if you play 2 of these, like turn 5, turn 6, it's really difficult to lose. It's such an insane game swing because not only do you get that heal and trash, but you also establish a 12k body, which is really difficult to remove. You know, this isn't set 4, we haven't got red rock, so this is a really, really, really scary card. And it sort of forces you as the opponent to just take a load of damage early because it's like, well, I don't really want to be burning it. And then of course we've got 4 copies of Thunderbolt. This is a really powerful card. It is possibly the reason to play Big Mum over Katakuri if you want to do that, because stacking this into your life is insanely good. Triggering to just pop a 5 cost for free is so powerful, especially when you know it's coming. You can play into it, right? Obviously, the effect in the main is still good, but you're having to give up a life for it, and unless you are going for a kill turn, that is very rarely worth it. But obviously on those kill turns, it absolutely is worth it. It's nice to have the option. But yeah, this is a phenomenally powerful trigger, and again, you're doing so much like filtering and healing through your life that like it is really likely to just come up naturally. So that is the Big Mum deck list. Overall, what do I think about this deck? I think it is a little bit worse than Katakuri, but I also think that it's very, very good. I still think it is an A tier, like top tier deck. You can definitely play this and see some success. Obviously, the red matchups, something you're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to get very, very experienced with that, and you're gonna have to learn how to play around it. There's a lot of tech choices you can take in decks like these, right? With Big Mum, because you're able to stack those triggers, you can do quite a lot of just changing the deck list around, including searchable tech copies that are really good into certain matchups. So there's a lot of experimentation that you can definitely do with this list. This is just a baseline to go off of. If you found this useful, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel for more One Piece content, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Cheers.